Merhabalar, hoş geldiniz University of Liverpool webinarımıza. Yavaş yavaş katılımcılarımız içeri girerken ben sözü Brandon'a bırakmadan önce çok kısa şirketimizden bahsetmek istiyorum size. Tekrar hoş geldiniz demek istiyorum yeni katılanlara da. British Education Büro'nun düzenlemiş olduğu bir etkinliğe şu anda katılmış bulunmaktasınız. British Education Büro yani kısaca BEP kimdir? Biraz bundan bahsetmek isterim. Biz University of Liverpool'un Türkiye'deki resmi başvuru merkeziyiz. University of Liverpool ve 90 tane daha üniversitenin İngiltere'deki temsilciliğini, resmi temsilciliğini yapmaktayız. Yani üniversitelerin Türkiye'deki bürosuyuz diyebiliriz. Şirketimiz 2002 yılında Oxford'da kuruldu. İngiliz ve Türk kuruculara sahip bir yapımız var. 22 yıldır İstanbul, Ankara ve İzmir'deki öğrencilerimize hizmet vermekteyiz. Bizim uzmanlık alanımız sadece İngiltere ve İrlanda eğitim sistemi. Farklı ülkelerle çalışmıyoruz. Bu da aslında bizi alanında uzman bir kadrodan oluşan ekip haline getiriyor ve tüm danışmanlarımız İngiltere ve İrlanda'daki eğitim sistemine vakıf. Bu konuda sürekli eğitimler alıyoruz güncel bilgilerle ilgili. Birleşik Krallık ve İrlanda'da toplam 150 tane üniversite var. 90 tanesinin resmi temsilcisi olduğumuzu aktarmıştım. Webinarımız sırasında merak ettiğiniz soruları University of Liverpool'la ilgili merak ettiğiniz soruları chat box'tan sorabilirsiniz. Ya da webinarımız bittikten sonra temsilcimize direkt elinizi kaldırıp sesli olarak da soruları sorabilirsiniz. Soruları Türkçe sormak isterseniz çevirisinde biz ekip olarak size yardımcı olacağız. Aynı zamanda bundan sonraki etkinliklerimizi de daha etkin bir şekilde takip edebilmeniz için Instagram hesabımızı takip etmenizi rica ediyoruz. Çünkü özellikle bu hafta ve gelecek hafta çok güzel üniversitelerle ilgili birçok etkinliğimiz olacak. Özellikle bazı üniversitelerden akademisyenler katılacak. Sizleri tekrar aramızda görmeyi çok isteriz. Keyifli sunumlar diliyorum size. Brandon, it's your now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone for joining us today for this webinar. So my name is Brendan D'Souza. I am the Country Development Manager for Turkey here at the University of Liverpool. And it's my great pleasure to be here today with our partners, BEB, to be doing this webinar to tell you all about the University of Liverpool, our programs, etc. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to share my screen. So bear with me a second whilst I just share my presentation. Okay, so this is the presentation for today. Hopefully you can see that okay. If no one can see it, let me know. So today, what we're going to be doing is focusing mostly on our master's programs, but I will also talk about the rest of our programs as well at the University of Liverpool. And we're going to have a focus also on our master's programs that are available in January 2025. But we will also talk about next September as well. So do not worry. If you want to come to Liverpool after January, we will still be able to talk about the options for you as well. So let's have a look at what we're going to do today. So first of all, I'm going to tell you all about the city of Liverpool. It's one of the largest and most exciting cities in the UK, and I love living in the city. So it's a fantastic place to live and to study. We're also going to look at the university, of course. We'll look at our degree programs. We're going to look at the campus, accommodation, USPs, the unique selling points, and more information as well about our wonderful university. Then we're going to look at the January PGT programs. PGT means masters, of course, and what's available to you as international students. And then lastly, we're going to talk about information for applicants. So if you are definitely interested in coming to the University of Liverpool, this is the information that you need to know. So that's what we're going to do today. It's going to be 4 sections, and we will definitely be less than 1 hour for this presentation. So nice and short. Okay. So first of all, let's take a look at the city of Liverpool, this wonderful city that I live in. I absolutely love living here. So Liverpool is a world famous city. I'm sure many of you have already heard of the city. It's one of the most historical, famous, architecturally important cities, not just in the UK, but in the rest of the world as well. So most of the architecture, landmarks, museums, galleries in Liverpool are known around the UK. We also have more galleries and museums in Liverpool than any city in the UK except for London. So if you want to live in a large, cultured, interesting, historical city, Liverpool is a fantastic place to be. But we also have many more icons beyond galleries and museums. So obviously, you're all aware of our famous football and music icons, of course. So we have Liverpool FC, we have Everton, the Beatles, all from the city, of course. The best thing about Liverpool FC in particular is that many of our students get to do part-time work and other activities at Anfield with Liverpool Football Club. So if anybody is particularly interested in football, then this is the greatest place for you to study, basically. On top of that, in terms of the local economy and retail and leisure, Liverpool is one of the largest cities in the UK, very exciting city, as I already mentioned. We also have one of the largest city economies in the UK and one of the largest populations. We have 1.5 million people in the city region. So why is this important? It means it's an exciting city. It means there's many businesses here. It also means there are many part-time jobs available. For students who want to do part-time work whilst they are studying at the University of Liverpool, there are many part-time jobs available on campus and in the city as a whole. So it's a great place to be. There's also lots and lots and lots of shops and restaurants and bars and cafes. So if you like to go out and to explore the city, there's many, many things for you to do. So like I said, it's a great place to study and it's a really great place to live as well. As you can see from the map there, our location is really, really convenient. So we are located in the middle of the UK, right next to Manchester. So if you want to take the train to Manchester city centre, it takes about 35 minutes. Very, very easy. Straight from campus, the main train station is 5 minutes from here, and you can get into Manchester city centre in 40 minutes. If you want to go down to London, 2 hours on the fast direct train, no problem at all, very convenient. We also have 2 international airports very close to Liverpool as well. So we have Liverpool John Lennon Airport, named after one of the Beatles, and that serves flights to all of Europe and North Africa. And then we also have Manchester International Airport, which is one of the largest airports in the UK, and that serves flights literally all over the world, including Turkey, of course. There are direct flights to Istanbul Airport and also places like Izmir as well with Turkish and Pegasus Airlines. So in terms of accessibility, Manchester is our main starting point and Liverpool is a really, really easy city to get to if you are coming from Turkey and anywhere else for that matter. Lots of accessibility. As you can see in the pictures there, there's some of the icons of the city, some architectural icons, some of the museums and so on. As you can see, it's a very pretty historical place, but it's also a very modern city as well. So it's a great place to be, to live and to study. Okay, now we're going to look at the university, which is obviously the main reason why you're here today. So a couple of unique selling points. So first of all, in terms of global rankings. So we are currently ranked 165 in the QS global rankings and also the top 50 European QS rankings as well. On top of this, in the Times Higher Education rankings, we are ranked 160. Now, why is this important? Because in the last 2 years, we have risen by 25 places in the QS rankings. And as a university, we are working hard as a team to increase these rankings, and it's part of our strategic plan. So we expect, that's the plan, by next year to be higher, somewhere like 150, for example. So if you are looking to go to a highly respected, successful university, then Liverpool is the place to come. We're also a member of the prestigious Russell Group. So if you're not familiar with the Russell Group, it is the top performing research-led universities in the UK, including universities like Oxford and Cambridge. So we are all in the same group together. And Liverpool was one of the original members of the Russell Group when it was created in 1994. We're also proud of our awards and accreditations. So, for example, the TEF Gold Award was received by the university in 2023. So the TEF status refers to undergraduate teaching. So if you are looking particularly for an undergraduate degree, then this is of interest to you because it means we have the highest quality of undergraduate programs in the UK. There are 24 members of the Russell Group and only 7 of them got the gold status. So that's something that we're very proud of. In terms of accreditations, as you can see on the screen there, our management school has the world-leading triple accreditation. Now, this means it's the highest quality of degree programs, services, MBAs, and so on. And this just means that it's in the highest tier of management schools in the whole world, because not all management schools at all universities have this accreditation. Some have 0 or 1 or 2 maybe, but 3 is the highest level, and that's what our management school has achieved. In terms of history, so we were founded in 1881, so we have over 140 years of history. We are part of the historical 19th century group of universities in the UK. So we are part of one of the oldest groups of universities based here in the UK. We also have a £10 million scholarship fund available to international students. This is our Global Advancement Scholarships. I will talk about them a little bit more later, but that's the key scholarship fund available we have for international students. But we also have some other options available as well. We're also undergoing a £1 billion campus redevelopment master plan at the moment. And as you'll see in the picture, there's some of the newer buildings that have been added to campus. They are part of that master plan. And they include a new law school, new accommodation, new architecture school, new auditoriums, and so on. So lots of investment has been made into the campus here at the University of Liverpool. And then lastly, the obvious selling point of the city is one of the key things about the university. So you get to live in a world-famous, exciting city whilst also studying at a world-famous university as well. So it's a great place to be and a great place to study. Moving on to the next one. So this is a general overview of the degree programs that we have here at the University of Liverpool. I will pick out some of the key ones. We'll not go into all of them in complete detail because there are over 400 degrees available in total. So we cannot talk about all of them today. I will give a general overview of the subjects that we do. So the first ones I'll pick out here are in our management school. As I mentioned before, they are triple accredited in the management school. So they include accounting and finance, economics. We've got things like human resources. We have business management, the MBA, marketing, etc. So all of these programs are some of our top performing degree programs in our triple accredited management school, which benefits from incredible business industry connections. So if you are looking to accelerate and improve your career in the future, then studying in our management school is a really fantastic thing to do. Next one is engineering. So Liverpool is famous as an engineering university with many top-ranked programs, but it also is an engineering city, not just a university. So many famous engineering companies are based in and near Liverpool. So, for example, we've got Airbus. The Airbus UK's main facility is next to Liverpool. And we also have companies like Jaguar, Land Rover, Ford, and other ones like AstraZeneca, for example. And many famous UK engineering companies and shipbuilding companies are based here in Liverpool. So if you want to do an engineering program, also computer science as well, then we have lots of great options available. And we're adding more and more. I know we have some new engineering programs coming online in the next year for 2025. So stay tuned. We have some new additions coming soon as well. And the last one I'll mention is the aerospace, because obviously I talked about Airbus UK. With aerospace engineering, we have some of the best aerospace engineering facilities at any UK university, a whole range of flight simulators, for example. We've got the business connections there, and students can also do their private pilot's license as well. And they can also benefit from having direct connections with UK commercial airlines who come to our campus to do some of their training for their pilots. So in terms of connections and the course and so on, there's no better place to go. On top of that, another big standout area is going to be architecture. So we have one of the oldest architecture schools in the whole of the UK, and we were the first university in the UK to offer an accredited architecture program. We're also building a brand new architecture school right now. So if you are keen to do architecture, it's a fantastic place to be. We also benefit from having one of only 2 RIBA offices in the UK. So RIBA is the Royal Institute of British Architects. It's the national organisation specifically to support architects and their careers and so on. They have an office in London and they have an office in Liverpool. So that means you get direct access to this organisation because you are here at the University of Liverpool. Next one I want to mention is anything in relation to health, clinical sciences, biomedical sciences. We have very top-ranked programs in that area. We are one of the largest clusters of medical health biosciences programs in the UK. We have really, really modern facilities in this area, and we also have one of the largest and most modern hospitals in any city in the UK, which is the Royal Liverpool University Hospital, which is on our campus, which has numerous specialist centres, including things like cancer care in particular. And the benefit of being in a large city with these large facilities is you get access to them for staff, for training, for research, for placements. There's lots of access. So if you are interested in something relating to health, medicine, or in particular like this, biosciences or biological sciences, Liverpool is a really fantastic place to study for the access to the staff, facilities, research, everything. Okay. And next one I want to point out is, like I said, computer science and data sciences and so on. This also ties into cybersecurity, which is a new program we have coming soon, numerous AI programs that we have as well, artificial intelligence. There's a range of different programs available in this area, and they obviously, apart from being high ranked and successful, also benefit from lots of industry connections, modern facilities as well, and lots of opportunities for students to do their own student-led research projects. So it means that students get access and support from the department, from the university, to do their own work as well. So it's a very, very exciting department to be in, and obviously it's a very modern department to be in as well. Okay. Another thing I'm going to pick out here, for example, is our veterinary sciences, which is down at the bottom there. So with veterinary sciences, we are one of the very small number of universities in the UK which do veterinary sciences. We are ranked number 2 in the UK for veterinary sciences, and we also have a specialist campus specifically for veterinary sciences on the other side of Liverpool. If anybody's particularly interested in things like equine studies, for example, dealing with horses, we do have programs and activities in that area, and we recently launched a new research centre specifically for equine horse studies at the campus over on the other side of Liverpool. So we are a top performing university for veterinary sciences. And then the last one, or two things I want to pick out, anything to do with sociology, social policy, criminology, and also law, because that's all within our law school. We have the oldest law school in the UK. It's actually in one of the pictures there, you can see it. Bottom left, because they have a brand new building. So there's a lot of history with the law school, and they do a lot of innovative work like law clinics. They work with the University of Law, for example, to do additional programs. So there's a lot of activities in the law school. And now students who do law programs have the option to do what we call like placements, basically. So you get to work with nationally recognized law companies that have offices in Liverpool. So you get to do these placements as part of your degree. And my understanding is you get to go through several different kind of placement internships as part of several of the law program degrees. So that means you get access to not one, but numerous different law companies whilst doing your law degree. So that's a really important thing to bear in mind if you're interested in this. So that's a general overview. That's some of the programs. I picked out some of the most famous ones that I know students in Turkey are interested in. But if anybody has any questions about a different course, okay, feel free to get in touch. Feel free to ask the team at BEB, and we'll be all able to help you with any questions that you have. Okay, so now moving on. So we'll talk about the campus and the services. So the University of Liverpool is a city-based campus, but it's also a particular distinct campus in itself. So we are on the edge of Liverpool city centre. We are 5 minutes from the central train station, Liverpool Lime Street station. Everything's self-contained on the campus, including most of the accommodation. So if you want to live next to where your classes are, Liverpool is very convenient. You can walk across the whole campus in less than 10 minutes, even though it's a large campus and got lots of facilities. So it is very convenient, and everything you need is in one place, basically. And in terms of what's happening on campus, as I mentioned before, we have the £1 billion redevelopment program going on right now. We have a modern sports centre on campus with very affordable membership for students and staff like myself, luckily. We also have 2 24-hour libraries on campus, which is very important if you are preparing for exams. And they've both recently been redeveloped, so they're in very good condition. We also have a wide range of cafes and restaurants and shops, etc., around the campus, near the campus. So I'll give you some examples. We have like famous coffee shops around the campus. We've got famous sandwich shops, supermarkets. We've got an Indian cafe. There's a Japanese, Chinese restaurants. There's so many different things around the campus and near the campus. And the best thing is, it's all affordable. So even though you're coming to a university that's highly ranked and part of the Russell Group, you will be spending less on things like food and accommodation. The cost of living is lower than it would be in other big cities. So that's an important thing to remember if you are planning to come to the UK and you want to know how much money you're going to spend, because the cost of living here is lower. Okay. Like I said before, also, we've got Veterinary Sciences campus on the other side of the river here in Liverpool. And then for services, so we have an award-winning career service, which I'll not talk about too much now because there's another page about that. We also have specialist support for international students, so international advice and guidance, who are very talented and very experienced advisors when it comes to things like visas, for example, because we have lots of experience with international students. We also have a whole range of different support services available, academic, pastoral, mental health, etc. Then we have the Guild of Students, which is our students' union, and it has over 200 different student groups, including a Turkish society and many other ones as well. And lastly, we also have a specialist campus security team and a designated police representative from the regional police force, Merseyside Police Force. So you can always feel safe and secure on campus, and there's plenty of people to look after you as well. And obviously, because we have a lot of students here, so we have about 33,000 students at the university. 8,000 are international students, okay, and they come from over 130 countries around the world. So obviously, there's a lot of services and a lot of support for all of you when you come to Liverpool. So if there's anything you need help with and any questions and any queries, anything, there's always a team available to help you, whatever the problem is. Okay. Right, let's go to the next page. So this is accommodation. As you can see on the right-hand side, there's a map of the campus, and I've just pointed out some of the locations of the accommodation. In total, there's around 5 different areas where you can live on the campus. I've not listed them all here because it's going to be a little bit confusing, and on our website, it's all listed really, really clearly. So it's very easy to find on the website. But the most important points to mention are, number 1, it's an award-winning accommodation service. They're very responsive, very supportive, very professional, and the quality of the accommodation is really, really good and very modern. You can see in the pictures there's very nice buildings that we've got, and also they're right in the center of the campus. So it's very, very convenient. We also aim to guarantee accommodation if you apply by the deadline. Okay. So if, for example, if it's for next summer, when most people join us in September, then if you apply by the deadline in July, early July, then you are basically guaranteed accommodation. We have plenty of spaces available. You don't need to worry too much about that, but I always recommend apply early to make sure that you have a good chance of getting onto the degree and also getting on to the building that you want to live in as well, for example. In terms of accommodation options, so there's numerous facilities across the campus. Generally speaking, they're all quite similar. So you have your own private bedroom, private bathroom combined into one unit, and then you would share your kitchen and your lounge with about 4 or 5 other students, usually kind of the same age or maybe same level, like undergraduate or postgraduates. So they're all quite similar. And these buildings are generally less than 5 years old. So it's very, very modern. In terms of prices, it's also quite reasonable. So generally they start at around £165 per week up to maximum 230. But realistically, most students, including myself when I was a student, we would go for the cheapest room, of course. So you go for about 165, maybe up to 180. But that includes things like electricity, gas, water, etc., internet as well. So you don't need to pay for additional things. That's your room and all of those other things included as well. So just bear that in mind. If you live off campus, then obviously you would need to pay for those things separately. Okay. Also, these buildings have dedicated staff, obviously. So they all have their own separate reception area, the entrance lobby where the security staff, support staff are based. And they also have things like lounges, games facilities, bike storage, laundry facilities. So there's lots and lots of important support services available if you're living at these buildings on campus. And then also, there's lots of places to eat nearby, like I mentioned before. Now, for most students, we don't have catered options, so you don't have like a food package or like a dining room. Most UK students prefer to eat when they want to eat in different places. So what we have is many cafes and restaurants on the campus and near the campus, and you get to decide where you want to eat. But there are some really good options. Even in the buildings in the pictures here, there are several places to eat and several cafes. One of them's one of my particular favorites is Bertie and Bella's, I think it's called, a new one that opened about a month ago. And that's a really nice cafe in Vine Court, which is the picture on the right. But the main thing to remember is you've got lots of options. The price is good, modern facilities, and they're right on the campus. So it's very, very convenient. If you want to learn more information, I recommend have a look at our website. Just literally type into Google University of Liverpool accommodation, and you will find our homepage for accommodation, and you can find the options available. And lastly, if I look at private accommodation, now obviously if you are in, say if you want to be an undergraduate student, then you would live on campus for the first year, and then for year 2, 3, maybe 4, you would live off campus. And if you are a postgraduate master's student, you can live on campus or off campus. It's your choice. With this, we only recommend going to one website. Don't go to other websites. Don't just search on Google. Go to liverpoolstudenthomes.org. That is the officially recognized website by all the universities in Liverpool, because there's 5 universities based around Liverpool. And we only work with one website to guarantee the quality and safety of private accommodation. Is this one website. So if you are looking for private accommodation, only go to this website. Okay. Right, let's go to the next page. So careers and employability, very important for many students, understandably. So at the university, we benefit from having an award-winning, world-class careers and employability team. They are an amazing group of people, and they have numerous international students who graduate and then work with them. So they fully understand the kind of queries and concerns that international students have when they are looking for work, part-time work, graduate roles, internships in the UK. They understand how you feel. And that's very important because they set up international support programs specifically for international students. So they don't just understand you, they have made services available for you to support you if you are looking for work during your degree and after your degree. So that is really, really important. Okay. In terms of facts, so I'll go through a couple of these things here. So first of all, 88% of our students achieve a first class or a 2-1 degree. They are the 2 highest levels of degrees available to students in the UK. So it's very important. 95% of graduates are in employment or further study 15 months after graduation. They're good, but more important thing is we are part of the, actually this says top 25, but now we are the top 20 UK universities sought after by global companies. Now, what does this mean for you? So it means you are part of the elite special group of universities where companies, international famous companies, come to us. They come to our campus. They come to meet our students, to meet you, to recruit you after you graduated. So you do not need to go and find a job and search on websites by yourself. These companies come to campus, and they do some virtual events, of course, but they come to campus to meet you. That makes it so much easier, so much more convenient if you are looking for a job in the UK and you want to stay here on a graduate visa, for example. So it's really, really important, and it's far more convenient for you when building those industry connections and looking for work after you've graduated. In terms of the companies that we send students to, so obviously when our students graduate, they go to a wide range of different companies. And as you can see on the screen here, these are some of them, but there are many more. So for example, Google, IBM, Rolls-Royce, Airbus, Microsoft, KPMG, Shell, PwC, Deloitte, Coca-Cola, Jaguar Land Rover, National Nuclear Laboratories, Siemens, BAE Systems, and many, many, many more. So basically, if you mention any famous international company, we have sent students there. And like, for example, right now, the global CEO of Coca-Cola studied at the University of Liverpool. So if you want anything that's globally recognized, there you go. We have great connections with these companies, and in terms of employability, it's really great for students. In terms of career support, so in terms of more details, so first one is we have an AI-based applicant support system. Now, what does that mean? It means the career service have set up this system whereby they can check the quality of your resume and applications for jobs to make sure that it is the highest quality. But they also have career teams and career coaches and digital coaches who are able to support you with your career planning and your resumes, applications in person. So you can use the AI-based system on the website, which is exclusive for students. I can't use it. It's only for students. You have exclusive access to this, but you also have access to all the in-person support as well. So you get 2 layers of support, online, digital, and in person as well. We also have a new £1 million flagship enterprise centre, which helps students who are setting up their own businesses. So if you are in a position to set up a startup or something after you graduated, for example, then they help you with that. Basically, lots of investment has been put into supporting the career service, employability, enterprise at the University of Liverpool. So if you are really, really focused on your future career, you've got to come to Liverpool, basically. That's my advice. As I mentioned before, we've got the dedicated International Plus program, which was set up by several international students in the last few years. And now it's available to all international students for free. You don't pay for this. It's all included because you're a student here. And you get access to all these additional services, activities, advice, etc., only for international students. We also have the unique career studio. So that's a space in this building where I am right now. It's a brand new facility dedicated to students needing careers advice and support and so on. It's open to all students all week. You don't need an appointment. You just walk in. It's accessible to everybody. And all the teams and services I mentioned before are in the office. And then we also have the career coaches I mentioned before and the digital coaches that can help you with your digital skills as part of your career development. As I mentioned before, also, we have a wide range of in-person and virtual career and networking events taking place, including activities taking place at Anfield with Liverpool Football Club as well. So that's really important if you like football. Okay. Now, moving on. So last quick thing before we start to look more at the January programs. So with the global opportunities, so this mostly refers to study abroad, but there's several different options here. So we have numerous study options available if you want to go overseas. So, for example, we have a campus in Suzhou in China. It's called Jian Jiaotong Liverpool University, XJTLU for short. This is our dedicated campus in China, and you can have the option to study there for 1 year, for example, as part of your degree. You can also study in various other places, for example, in the US, in Canada, in South Korea. I used to live there as well, so I recommend that. Japan. Hong Kong, for example. There are numerous places where you can study abroad as part of your degree at the University of Liverpool. We also have numerous degrees with year in industry options. So this is available to numerous postgraduate, but especially undergraduate courses, where you can add a year and work in a job that is connected to your degree. Very important, adds to your employability in the future, and you find that many students maintain the connection with the company and sometimes actually work for that company after they graduate. So it's a really important way to start boosting your career. Okay? So that's especially available in things like computer science, for example, engineering, but many other programs have the option as well. Okay? And then lastly, language programs. So there are numerous different types of language programs available to students here at the University of Liverpool. So they can include joint degrees, or you can do a full degree in a language, or you can add additional modules or separate classes. Because globalization, internationalization is a very important part of the kind of strategy here at the University of Liverpool. We want to make sure that all our students are, kind of internationally competent, able to travel overseas if possible, to do study abroad, and doing the languages as well is a key part of that experience as well. Okay. Now, moving on. Scholarships, I'll do this quickly. I think this is the last one before we get onto the brief overview of January programs. So with this one, the main offering for January programs for PGT Masters programs is as follows. Okay, this is the kind of standard setup that we have in most cases. So Total can be £5,000 for many of the master's courses, okay? However, you would need to check each individual page, but generally speaking, it's £2,500 as a country scholarship, which is available to Turkish students, and then £2,500 based on achievement. So if you have a high GPA, realistically, maybe 3.4, for example, something like that, maybe higher, but generally speaking, a high GPA, then you could also get that scholarship. So you could combine them as £5,000. However, if you're looking to come to the university in September 2025, there are also other scholarships available of £5,000 in total, one scholarship, which is assigned to many of our different degree programs and is available to all students, whether you meet the requirements. So not just a high GPA, but you can just get that £5,000 scholarship. So basically, the full offering is £5,000, and for January 2025, it can be 2.5 plus 2.5, and then also in September 2025, you can have a £5,000 one as well. This applies to lots of courses, and the list for September 2025 is very long. So there's 145 courses, I think, on the list for the scholarships. So it applies to many of our PGT programs, because in total, there's around 200. If anybody is unsure, if anybody wants to know which courses are included, please let me and the team at BEB know, and we can assist you with this, because the list is long and it recently got updated. Okay, so the best thing to do is check with us if you want to make sure. The last one to mention quickly is the Management School Awards. So this is the one that gets most people's attention. So this is the 50% scholarship. So 50% of your tuition fees will be covered by this scholarship. This is available to students doing postgraduate master's courses in our management school. And this is available to students in January 2025 and September 2025 and after. Okay, there are numerous options here. As you can see, there's a few specific ones. The main one available to international students and available to Turkish students is the Excellence Scholarship, which is worth 50% of your tuition fees if you are going to do a master's course in the management school. Now, obviously for this, we would expect a high GPA and some experience and a really good quality application. But with all of these scholarships, everything I've mentioned today, it's all essentially automatic. So what that means is you do not need to make a separate application for the scholarship. You simply submit your standard application. Okay, you can go through BEB, of course, and they can support you with the process, and then we will assess it to see if you can get a scholarship. You do not need to make a separate application for the scholarship. You just make your standard application and make it as good as possible, and that would help with trying to get a scholarship. Okay, so that's our general advice. If you want to learn more about what's available and other scholarships we have, for example, or any opportunities for Turkish students, for example, with the Turkish Ministry of Education, we have the sponsorship agreement as well, so bear that in mind. If you want to learn any more, have a look at our website. So go to liverpool.ac.uk, go to Study with Liverpool at the top, and then how to pay for your studies. And on there, it will list all the different opportunities. And if you go on there and find our scholarship finder and look for Turkey on the list, and then it will show you the options available for students in Turkey. Okay. Right. If there's any other questions, feel free to get in touch with either of us and we'll be able to help you at any point. Okay. Now, January programs. I'm going to do this quite quickly because I know I've been talking for a long time. So let's have a look at the January programs. So first of all, we have engineering, then we'll have health and life sciences, and then we have management. So I'm going to go over this very quickly. So as you can see, we have a range of programs available starting in January 2025, including mechanical engineering, we've got advanced manufacturing, and we also have our new data science and artificial intelligence course as well. That's a conversion course for students who have not done it before. Okay. As you can see, there's a wide range of options here. A couple of them have actually closed already because of ATAS requirements, but the rest are still available. Okay. As you'll see here, things like mechanical engineering and also engineering management, which is another one coming up soon, they are some of our strongest performing degrees, but also data science and AI is one of our fast rising and popular courses as well. So it's a great place to study, great departments. I definitely recommend that. As you can see, many of them are still open for applications for another week or so, I think. So you still have time to apply. And then the start date is the end of January 2025. Okay. Again, if anybody has any questions about these, if anybody suddenly definitely wants to go in January, please let us know. I'm here to help you if you've got any questions. Okay. Then on to health programs. So there's quite a variety here. For example, we've got nursing, we've got critical care, we've got occupational therapy, physiotherapy, for example. So there's quite a few different programs here if you are interested in health-related programs. Like I said, we are a leading university in the UK for health, life sciences, medical programs. So we have really advanced facilities, as you can see on the screen there. So it's a really, really great place to do any health-related courses. And as you can see, we have lots of very specific technical courses available in this area. If anybody is particularly interested in them, please get in touch. And also our admissions and recruitment team from the School of Allied Health Professions and Nursing can also assist if you have any detailed questions as well. And then lastly, to our management school, so the triple accredited school that I talked about before, something we're very proud of, and they have 4 programs available, some of their top performing programs. So for example, our MBA program specifically for football is called Football Industries MBA, or FIMBA. That's available online for January. We also have our flagship high performing MBA program, the Liverpool MBA, available this year as well for January 2025. And then we also have marketing and master in management. So lots of great options there. The master in management in particular is a great option for students who don't qualify for the MBA, but they want to go into management basically. So this is a really great option for students like that. Okay. As you can see, they're all still open. There is some flexibility with many of these deadlines. So if students are interested in applying, but maybe cannot get in by the 30th of November, let us know, and we can definitely see what we can do for you. There is some flexibility there. Okay. Now, in terms of general overview, I'll do this extremely quickly because I think I've already covered most of these points. But with all of these particular departments, so engineering, computer science, health, nursing, and management, high-performing programs, excellent industry connections across the board, really modern facilities for each of them, which is something that's really fantastic. Lots of placement opportunities available, especially in health and nursing, but also opportunities like that in management as well. In management school, we have enhancement weeks. So basically, any master's program in the management school has 2 one-week enhancement weeks where students develop their career skills in intensive environments as part of their degree supported by the department. So that's really, really exciting. And lastly, I will mention bear me a second. Here it is, the industry connections I talked about before. So a lot of these companies work with us on and off campus for activities, but also for projects and so on that students are involved with and research and everything. And that's the same in health and nursing. We have lots of student-led research projects that are going on as well. So basically, lots of great things to consider if you're looking at a degree in any of these departments. Okay. Now, information for applicants. Some general information here, but some key things that I might not have mentioned before. Okay. So first of all, apply now. So obviously the deadline for January is coming very quickly. I would always recommend apply early, especially if you're interested in the management school courses, because they have the 50% scholarships available. And if you want to get them, I'd recommend applying as soon as possible. Okay. If you need any assistance, any questions, please let us know and we can always help you. With the fees, obviously very important. I've not listed them everywhere because it makes the screen too full, but basically most of the programs that we talked about on the previous pages are around £26,000 to £28,000 per year. That's the approximate fees for the programs that we looked at, except for the MBAs, which are around £32,000 per year. Okay, and bear in mind the scholarships we talked about. The management school scholarships that are available are the 50% scholarships, and then there's the combined £5,000 scholarships that we mentioned as well. Okay, but you cannot combine them, so you can get one or the other. So maximum is 50%. You can get the management school 50% scholarship or the £5,000 combined one as well, not both. Okay. In terms of documents, so make sure when you submit all your documents, make sure everything's up to date and in order, so it's easy for the admissions team to make a decision. And then obviously they can decide on the scholarship as well. And that's the last thing there on the scholarships on the side. I'll leave that because we've already talked about that. And then for further information, so obviously first thing is to talk to your guidance counselor. So BEB here today. So they have a very big team across all the major cities in Turkey. I've had the pleasure of meeting all of them. So they've got lots of people who can look after you. If you have any queries, you're making an application, they're the first people to go to. They can help you with pretty much anything, actually. So definitely go to them first of all to ask any questions. If you want to also reach out to me as well, I have my contact form there on the screen as well if you want to reach out to me. And then also the other QR code there is for our country pages as well. You can also find the Turkey country page on our website if you just search for it on Google, or if you go to the international pages on our website and it's on the list there. It's very easy to find. Just look for Turkey on the website, basically. Very simple. Okay. And then lastly, I think this is nearly the end now. So standard requirements. So this is specifically for postgraduate level, so masters. So if a student has completed their full undergraduate degree at a university in Turkey, recognized university in Turkey, and if their GPA is at least 3.0, then they can be considered for direct entry for a master's program here at the University of Liverpool. In some cases, we can also consider GPAs of around 2.8 as well. But generally, we would require at least 3.0, and obviously it would be higher if you were looking to get one of our higher 50% scholarships as well, for example. If a student does not meet those general requirements, we have things like our pre-master's course as well, available at the University of Liverpool International College. Okay. It's also not mentioned here, but I'll quickly mention it. For any undergraduate students, so if we have any younger students here today who are interested in a bachelor's degree, undergraduate course, normally we would require SATs, A-levels, IB diploma for direct entry to the university, or if you are from approved schools, so there are numerous schools across Turkey where we accept the Turkish diploma, Lise Diplomasi, where we'd accept that. So if you want to know, if you're in that situation and you want to know if we accept your Turkish diploma, then please get in touch with us, and obviously we can let you know if that's the case. That's for undergraduates. The information here is mainly for master's students. So like I said, full degree from a university in Turkey, at least a GPA of around 3.0 or more. In terms of additional requirements, so if you're looking to study one of our MBA programs, obviously a higher GPA plus experience, usually managerial experience, is a necessity. I would say at least 4 or 5 years is the requirement, at least for application to the University of Liverpool MBA programs. For health programs, so they generally require a previous degree in the same kind of area and a high GPA as well. And then things like advanced engineering programs also need related experience in a similar degree as well. Okay. Obviously, the QR code there goes to the course listings. Each course is slightly different. So please ask if you have a question. It would be impossible to list everything on this webinar, and it would take me about 10 hours. So I recommend please get in touch, and we're more than happy to answer any questions. Okay. Okay, and that is the end. So that's everything I've got to share today. So thank you, everyone, for joining. If we have any questions now, guys at BAB, if you've got any questions want to fire away, I'm more than happy to help.
Brandon, we really thank you for every valuable information that you shared. Right now, we don't have any question in chat box, but maybe some students or someone wants to raise hand and ask, I don't know. Sorusu olan var mı acaba? Soruları alabiliriz. Türkçe'de olsa yardımcı olabiliriz çevirisinde. Sanırım İsmail Bey soru sormak istiyor. Ben sesinizi açıyorum şimdi. Teknik bir problem olabilir çünkü sesinizi açmak için isterseniz yazılı olarak sorabilirsiniz İsmail Bey chat box kısmında.
Yeah, if there's any questions or if there's any problems with microphones, feel free to type the questions and I can answer verbally or written, no problem.
Okay, I think, okay, we have one question. Is portfolio necessary for architecture undergraduate?
Yes, that's correct. Yes. So for any architecture degree, especially the main one, that is a requirement. It's generally on the website, it's listed as an art-based portfolio. It doesn't necessarily say how long it needs to be. It just needs to be good quality. If any students like yourself here, if you're interested in applying for architecture and you want to know if your portfolio is good or accepted for the application, let me know. You can contact me and I can assist you with that, no problem at all. But the answer is yes, a portfolio is necessary.
Okay, yes, portfolio is needed. Thanks a lot. Another question. When I do master, I will work a job like economy sector. Is it possible?
So when doing a master's, yes,
Yeah.
you can work part-time as a student when you're in the UK. So for master students, generally it's maximum 20 hours per week whilst studying. And then obviously students can work after their degree when they have a few months left, and then they can also do their graduate visa as well for 2 years. You need to apply for that at the end of the degree, and you can do lots of kinds of work, basically internships, full-time jobs. So the answer is yes. When you're doing a master's degree, yes, it's possible to get jobs. If you're thinking about economics in particular, if it's something in business, for example, there are jobs available. You are allowed to work whilst you're a student, part-time, and you can work after your degree as yes. So generally speaking, yes, you can work as a student, and yes, you can work afterwards. Hopefully that answers the question.
Okay, thanks a lot. Another question. Are the conditions strictly apply for undergraduate programs? Can they be minimized if Liverpool University is chosen as a firm choice?
So that's not a question I could answer specifically. It's more for admissions. Like I mentioned before, though, there is sometimes a little bit of flexibility with grades and requirements. So it really depends on which degree you want to apply to, whether there's a big difference in the grades that you need or have. It depends quite a lot. So, for example, if it's like a health program, for example, or engineering, there's a little bit less flexibility. In other degrees, there might be a little bit more. The best thing to do is to let us know directly. So if you have a particular course you're interested in, please let Beb know. So let the BEB team know, and then we can consult with you directly, because there is a little bit of flexibility in several areas, but it really depends on different courses and also depends on the level as well.
Okay, thanks a lot. It depends on the programs then. Shortly. We have another question. My child is going to a French high school. How should be the right path to apply for Liverpool University? Is Liverpool International College is prerequisite in this case? And after college, what is the process?
Okay. So I believe with the French high schools, I know there's a couple in Turkey. I can't remember all the names, but I know most of them are on our approved list. So that means that you would, if you're studying there, you would not need to take the foundation course at the International College. So you should be able to apply directly for an undergraduate bachelor's degree at the University of Liverpool. You would not need to do the foundation program at the International College.
Okay, since like almost all French high schools in Turkey is in approved list for University of Liverpool. That's why if the student is coming from French high school, she or he is not needed for taking an foundation course.
Exactly. Yeah.
She can start from first year. Okay.
Yeah. So
Thanks a lot.
basically, there are lots of several French schools on the list already, and some other ones are being added as well. So I don't know the name of the exact school, but it's very, very likely that it's on the list. Yeah.
Okay. We can check from the list then.
Yeah.
We
Exactly.
have two more questions. Is there a better science engineering master's or PhD program in University of Liverpool?
We don't have anything specifically in battery science, but we have things like energy programs, for example. That's probably the closest one. and like sustainable engineering programs, sustainable energy engineering. So that is the closest, not specifically battery science, but energy programs. Yes, we do have that
Okay, we do have
at
energy programs.
undergraduate and especially master's level as well in particular. Yeah.
Okay. And then another question.
Mhm.
Is it possible to get accepted just with advanced placement scores, AP scores? If it is, what scores do I need?
Okay, so it's a little bit complicated to explain right now. These scores and the requirements are actually listed on our USA country page. So it's basically a combination of different things, APs, honors classes, and so on. So generally it's like 3, I think it is, that you would generally require. But I would recommend have a look at our USA country page, which is where that information is based. And then you can see what matches with your particular qualifications. The answer is yes, we do accept those, but it's a little bit complicated to explain verbally. Okay.
Thanks a lot. And last questions, I think. As an undergraduate student who wants to apply for medicine, what kind of social activities or programs such as AP, SAT, IELTS we need to take before applying to the university?
Okay, so with medical applications for the UK in general, it's quite complicated and not easy. That's, I'm sure BB know just as well as I do, that it's not an easy process applying for a medical program in the UK. But I
Yes,
mean, we
yes.
are one of the main universities for that in the UK, so we have the programs available, but it's not always easy. Generally speaking, students need to have very high grades. We would recommend things like IB as a kind of a preference. You would definitely have to do IELTS and high scores in your IELTS, for example. So that's kind of a prerequisite. IB especially, high English scores. You also need to do the UCAT test as well, which is a required test you have to do for medical programs for many universities. Those are the main things. So you need to have high grades, the right kind of grades, and you also need to have a high quality application to show that you are dedicated to doing a medical program. But it's not a simple process. Again, I'd recommend have a conversation with Beb, talk about it, because it's something that takes more than a year realistically, because you need to do the UCAT test 1 year before you intend to go to the university. So there's lots of preparation that you have to do before you actually make your application, basically. So it's quite a long process. Beb can help you start in the process.
Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot. We have one more question. When the master is done, is there any chance of research assistant in the University of Liverpool?
Cool. So that is a good question. I get asked that quite a lot, actually a lot. The answer is it's never promised, but I meet numerous students that do things like this. So we have some students that do research when they're actually at the university still. And I know some students get jobs at the university after they graduate. Sometimes it's a professional job, like myself in professional services, or if it's a research thing. There are lots of things happening, and because the university employs around 7,000 staff and is a research-focused university, there are opportunities and things happening on campus. However, it depends on the department and what staff they need at that time. So it's never promised, but because there's a lot of activities happening, if students make good connections with their professors whilst they're doing their degree program, it gives them a better chance. But also bear in mind that you can also reach out and connect with other universities in the area, for example. So if a student is doing a particular degree subject and they want to do research after, but there's no place available for a job, they could look at other cities as well. So just bear that in mind, because there are other options available and also different jobs available. I know, for example, in our office here, so in the student recruitment office here, it's quite a large office, we have numerous former international students. So we have some from China, from Japan, from Cambodia, various other places. So we have lots of students who do work at the university after they graduate. It's not always research, but it is still at the university and it opens up other opportunities later. Okay, so hopefully that answers the question.
Okay, thanks a lot. Never promise, but there may be a chance, as I
Yes.
understand.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. I think we are done. We don't have any other question. Again, we want to say thank you for this valuable informations. If students have more information, they can directly email to you or us, BEB. We will be happily help. Then, thank you for today.
Thank you. And thank you everyone for coming today. I really appreciate everyone attending today. Thank you.
Thanks so much, friend.
Thank you. Thank you.